Straight to jail, straight to jail. For questioning at least Erika. I don't care who's mad. I really do not care who wants to be upset after this episode. Really, you'll be wasting. We get to that. The response has just been brutal, okay? Everyone is calling her out. They're saying that the look is wrong. People are making fun of saying that she looks like she came dressed up as the assassin that was walking up the stairs.
So Erika Kirk looks completely fed up with the nonstop online chaos, and social media has been buzzing after reports claimed she may be looking into a huge libel and defamation case connected to Candace Owens. Things have gotten so messy that rumors even started flying around saying people close to Candace could be getting tired of all the controversy too, although none of that has been officially confirmed. Now, a lot of viewers are wondering if this could finally be the moment Candace pulls back and stops making Erika Kirk such a massive part of her content.
I do not have time to address the noise. My silence does not mean that I am complacent. My silence does not mean that somehow Turning Point USA and all of the hand-picked staff that loved my husband and my husband loved them is somehow in on it.
For months now, according to online reactions, Candace has kept heavy attention on Erika Kirk through an investigative-style series packed with questions, theories, and non-stop commentary. But this is where the situation starts getting tricky. Despite all the discussion and speculation online, Candace has never directly made a clear public statement accusing Erika of being responsible for her husband's passing. Most of the content seems to focus on public records, online conversations, and questions that were already spreading across social media before her videos gained traction. Because of that, some viewers think proving defamation in court could end up being a difficult move. Now, people online are debating what this reported case could actually center around and whether there is any strong evidence behind it at all. At the same time, more viewers are asking tough questions. Is Erika mainly fighting to protect her reputation and demand accountability? Or has this entire controversy also pushed even more public attention back onto her? At this stage, Erika Kirk does not seem interested in keeping things polite with Candace Owens anymore. According to online discussions, the tension between them has been building behind the scenes for a long time. Even though there was a period where both sides appeared to stay somewhat respectful for Charlie's sake, that calm reportedly started falling apart once Erika became tied to the backlash surrounding the White House correspondents' dinner controversy. Only days after everything exploded online, Erika appeared on The Charlie Kirk Show and spoke directly about several topics people had been debating across social media.
To tell you, we have an even bigger problem when it comes to the systemic indoctrination and radicalization of our own citizens. This is what got my husband killed.
She talked about the event, the reaction it caused, and what she believes helped turn the internet against her. Erika argued that social media has become one of the biggest problems in modern culture because, from her perspective, she has been non-stop targeted and criticized online for months. She also brought up Drusky by name, saying his whiteface comedy skit upset her, and added even more pressure to an already heated public situation. That comment alone sparked a wave of reactions online, with viewers debating whether the controversy had already gone way too far. But the moment that really caught everyone's attention came when Erika began speaking directly about Candace Owens. That is when the conversation suddenly became much heavier. According to Erika, Candace repeatedly pushed commentary and questions that Erika felt implied she was somehow connected to her husband's passing, although Candace and many of her supporters strongly reject that interpretation. A lot of viewers believed that was the real issue Erika had wanted to confront from the very beginning. Even though Erika spoke for almost 9 minutes, critics online claimed she spent very little time addressing the bigger questions connected to herself, TPUSA, or the White House correspondents' dinner controversy. Instead, many viewers noticed she focused heavily on the media, accusing reporters, bloggers, and online commentators of treating her unfairly and turning her into a constant target for criticism.
Pretty sure that when she sat down with Caroline Levitt on stage at a Turning Point event, she says that she didn't read the headline, she doesn't care, she's completely removed. We've been told over and over again that she's just not aware of what's going on. Now she's saying, I actually went to this event because I needed to confront these journalists who day in and day out, I actually know their names. Which is more than I could say. I actually don't know the names of all the journalists who write articles about me. I don't care to learn about their lives. I actually virtually never give them statements. My PR isn't open.
But according to social media reactions, the conversation kept drifting right back toward Candace Owens and the claims Erika believed were being pushed about her online. That is when a lot of viewers started seeing the situation in a completely different way. People began asking whether Erika was mainly trying to answer public concerns or if she was also using the moment to confront a deeply personal feud with Candace in front of millions watching online. And based on online commentary, many people believe this tension did not suddenly appear out of nowhere. Ever since Charlie Kirk passed away, Candace Owens has publicly discussed different questions, theories, and online speculation surrounding the situation. With every new discussion, more people seem to get pulled into the controversy, and the conversations online only became louder. At different times, social media users floated theories involving possible political connections, international angles, and other disputed claims. None of those theories have been officially confirmed, but every time Candace addressed the topic, the speculation appeared to grow even more intense across the internet. Before long, the entire situation turned into a non-stop online battle, and Erika found herself right in the center of it all, whether she wanted that attention or not. Every new video, live stream, and viral post seemed to crank the drama up even more, and before long, people online were choosing sides like this was some internet showdown instead of a real personal tragedy.
So yeah, across the board, people are laughing, they're mocking it, they're saying it was, you're lying, and also it's just weird. It was weird and it was awkward. And speaking of the lying, which, like I said, many people called out right away, as that person said, I've never made that statement on this podcast.
Candace's supporters argued that she was simply asking questions and connecting dots based on information that was already public. They insisted she never directly accused Erika of causing Charlie's passing and said she was using her right to openly discuss details that had already been circulating across social media and online forums. But Erika and her supporters viewed the situation in a completely different light. From their perspective, the non-stop theories, repeated speculation, and constant commentary created an atmosphere where some viewers started blaming Erika anyway, even though no direct accusation had officially been made in public. That is exactly why the possibility of a legal battle suddenly became such a huge topic online. Now the internet seems totally divided. Some people believe Erika is finally defending herself after months of criticism and intense online pressure, while others think this dispute could spark a much bigger conversation about where public commentary crosses the line into defamation. And once all those theories exploded across social media, attention quickly shifted toward the people who were closest to Charlie, especially TPUSA and members of his inner circle. Candace Owens began publicly questioning certain relationships around him, including disputed claims involving loyalty, behind-the-scenes disagreements, and financial decisions that allegedly caused tension within the group. As more rumors spread online, the controversy only got louder, and every new claim seemed to pull even more people into the drama.
Every morning I wake up to a new headline lying about me. I have comedians dressing up in whiteface. I have people saying I'm not fit to be CEO. And I have Candace Owens claiming I murdered my husband. And the list goes on and on and on.
Those claims are still heavily disputed and no official confirmation has ever been released. And when Candace spoke about Erika, many online viewers felt she was not being subtle at all. According to reactions across social media, Candace framed Erika as someone the public should seriously question, someone whose story deserved closer scrutiny, and someone people needed to pay very close attention to. At one point, Candace reportedly suggested that authorities should question Erika in connection with Charlie's passing. That statement alone instantly split the internet before any verified evidence had been publicly presented. Supporters defended Candace by saying she was only raising questions, while critics argued the commentary was pushing dangerous speculation without proof. But then things escalated even more once Candace launched the Bride of Chucky series, and that is when many viewers felt the entire conflict became deeply personal instead of just political commentary. Rather than focusing only on recent controversies, Candace reportedly started digging into Erika's past, discussing her upbringing, family background, personal relationships, and people she had allegedly been associated with over the years. With every episode, the allegations and online speculation appeared to become more intense. Candace questioned whether Erika had been fully truthful about parts of her background, discussed alleged ties to influential figures, and brought up disputed internet rumors involving controversial social circles connected to names like Epstein. None of those claims have been officially verified, and they remain strongly challenged online. Still, some viewers felt the discussion crossed far beyond normal political criticism and started sounding more like a full public character attack. And once accusations and theories like that start spreading online, they can snowball fast and take on a life of their own. By the time Erika finally sat down to publicly respond, the situation had clearly grown way bigger than one comment, one rumor, or one disagreement. The situation had fully turned into a public war where reputations, careers, and personal lives were all being debated in front of a massive online audience.
Reason that she gives for people asking that question, why did you go to the White House Correspondents' Center? You literally just said you couldn't do your UGA commitment because there were credible threats and you couldn't trust the Secret Service to absolve them. Then you did an event with Trump, which relied upon the Secret Service. And then now you're doing another event and it's like a press event, right? That actually Charlie hated. He always made fun of the White House Correspondents' Dinner. So why do you feel obliged to show up?
By that stage, many viewers felt Erika looked completely overwhelmed by how far everything had spiraled across the internet. What may have started as online commentary quickly exploded into non-stop speculation, viral clips, reaction channels, and strangers dissecting every detail of her life. With every new accusation and fresh theory posted online, the pressure surrounding Erika's name seemed to grow even louder. At the same time, Candace's supporters continued standing behind her, arguing that investigative commentary and public criticism are protected forms of free speech, especially when discussing public figures and information already circulating online. Supporters claimed Candace was asking difficult questions that other people were too afraid to say publicly. But critics believed something much different was happening. Many viewers felt the repeated theories, dramatic storytelling, and constant speculation were shaping a narrative that pushed audiences toward conclusions before any verified facts had actually been proven. That is one of the biggest reasons this controversy exploded across social media and political spaces. Now the stakes appear even bigger because many people think this dispute could become about far more than just Erika and Candace. Some believe it may end up testing how far online personalities can go when discussing controversial subjects before commentary crosses into possible defamation territory. Others see it as another massive internet feud that simply spiraled out of control, with neither side showing any signs of backing down anytime soon. And by this point, a lot of viewers felt Erika had been quietly keeping receipts, tracking every statement and preparing to respond with what she believed could be a serious case against Candace. But Candace was clearly not about to let Erika's public statement slide without firing back. Soon after clips from Erika's appearance started blowing up online, Candace jumped onto Twitter and doubled down hard. She posted, "Very uncomfortable to watch, painful prompt to read, a speech clearly written by someone else, objectively terrible, so they will now pay for people to tell us otherwise. Also, of everything I've said about Erika, she chooses to respond to something I never said. They always lie." That final line instantly grabbed attention across social media because Candace has repeatedly argued that she never directly stated in one clear public sentence that Erika was responsible for Charlie's passing. But at the same time, many viewers felt the ongoing theories, suspicions, and repeated insinuations across months of commentary may have encouraged audiences to connect the dots themselves. So when Erika finally addressed the issue publicly, some viewers believed she was responding less to one exact quote and more to the overall narrative Candace had been building online over time. That is why the debate became even more heated, because both sides appeared to view the situation in completely different ways. But instead of cooling tensions or trying to find common ground, Candace seemed to push back even harder. That response only turned the pressure up again and sent the online drama into another wave of chaos. Rather than stepping away from the controversy, Candace continued moving forward like she had no plans to slow down at all. Before long, supporters from both sides flooded social media with screenshots, clips, old interviews, and competing theories about what was really happening behind the scenes. The back and forth became nonstop, and every new post seemed to add even more heat to an already explosive situation. For Erika, the situation reportedly became much bigger than random internet gossip. According to people following the story online, she believed the non-stop speculation was seriously damaging her reputation and turning her into a target of public suspicion. And once huge audiences begin repeating the same narratives across social media, even indirect claims can become almost impossible to escape. Meanwhile, Candace's supporters argued that she was being unfairly attacked simply for sharing opinions and discussing information that was already public. They claimed Erika was trying to shut down criticism by turning the conflict into a legal issue instead of directly responding to the questions and theories circulating online. But critics of Candace believe the situation goes much deeper than ordinary commentary. They argue that repeatedly presenting someone in a suspicious light while linking them to alarming theories and controversial figures can heavily shape public opinion, even without making one direct accusation out loud. Now, the internet is watching the situation closely because the drama has clearly grown far beyond a personal disagreement. What originally started as online commentary has turned into a massive public battle involving politics, media influence, public image, and the blurry line between speculation and possible defamation. And instead of stepping away from the controversy, Candace returned to her podcast and doubled down once again. She insisted she had never lied about Erika and made it clear that, in her view, the real issue came down to credibility and trustworthiness. That only added more tension online, with supporters on both sides arguing nonstop over whether this was investigative commentary protected by free speech or a controversy that had crossed a serious line. At that point, the entire controversy started turning into one massive public battle over a single question: who was actually telling the truth and who could really prove it? Because accusing someone of defamation may sound huge online, but legally proving those claims in court is a completely different challenge. The moment Candace publicly pushed back, people across social media immediately began questioning whether Erika actually had enough evidence to move a serious legal case forward. But Erika's side did not stay quiet for long. Almost instantly, alleged receipts, screenshots, and private messages started spreading online, and one particular screenshot grabbed a huge amount of attention. According to internet discussions, the screenshot allegedly showed Candace texting a former TPUSA employee shortly before a private sit-down meeting with Erika. The authenticity of the screenshot, along with the full context behind it, has been heavily disputed online and has not been independently verified. That meeting had originally been described publicly as an effort to lower tensions, clear the air, and possibly handle the conflict privately instead of continuing the drama online. From the outside, it sounded like both sides were preparing for a serious conversation away from the chaos of social media. But if the screenshot circulating online was real, some viewers believed it suggested something very different. In the alleged text exchange, the former employee reportedly asked Candace what she planned to say during the meeting with Erika. Candace's alleged response immediately set social media on fire because the message reportedly said, "I'm asking everything." That short reply alone sparked intense reactions online, with people debating whether the meeting was truly meant for peace or if it was always expected to become another major confrontation. First question: why did you murder your husband? That alleged screenshot instantly reignited the entire controversy because many people online felt it directly clashed with Candace's repeated claim that she never publicly accused Erika of being connected to Charlie's passing. At the same time, Candace's supporters pushed back hard, arguing the alleged message lacked proper context and should not automatically be treated as a confirmed accusation. They insisted that screenshots spreading across social media can easily be misunderstood, selectively shared, or interpreted in ways that do not reflect the full conversation. But once that alleged text began circulating online, the debate surrounding the possible lawsuit changed almost overnight. Many people who had previously defended Candace by saying she never directly accused Erika suddenly found themselves debating whether that reported message crossed a much more serious line. Supporters of Erika pointed to the screenshot as something they believed backed up their concerns that the suspicions and accusations were not simply random internet interpretations created by viewers. In their view, the alleged message suggested Candace may have privately framed Erika in a damaging light, even before the public controversy fully exploded online. Still, the entire situation remains heavily disputed, and no official confirmation has fully settled the matter. Meanwhile, Candace's supporters continued questioning the authenticity of the screenshot itself, arguing that private messages can be edited, taken out of context, or misrepresented once they spread across the internet. Others argued that even if the alleged message were authentic, it still would not automatically prove legal defamation without stronger evidence showing knowingly false factual claims and direct reputational harm. But no matter which side people believed, one thing became obvious to viewers everywhere. This feud had grown far beyond ordinary internet gossip and turned into something much bigger. What started as commentary videos, reaction clips, and internet speculation had now exploded into a massive public relations and legal debate involving leaked messages, political personalities, and non-stop attention from millions of viewers online. And with every new screenshot, alleged receipt, and fresh accusation that surfaced, it became even harder for either side to control the narrative. Each new detail seemed to add another layer of tension to an already chaotic situation, and people across social media were glued to the story, waiting to see what would happen next. According to online discussions, the alleged message even included crying emojis at the end. And once that screenshot started spreading online, the entire conversation shifted again. For Erika's supporters, that was the moment they believed everything suddenly made sense. To them, it did not matter whether the comment was casual, sarcastic, or filled with emojis. They argued that a statement like that could still strengthen the overall narrative they believed Candace had been building around Erika for months. From their perspective, the reputational damage had already happened because huge audiences had spent months hearing theories, suspicions, and repeated commentary tied to Erika's name. So, when the alleged text surfaced, many viewers felt it matched what they believed Candace had been implying behind the scenes the whole time. But Candace quickly rejected the interpretation that people were running with online. She argued that critics were stretching the situation too far and insisted the emojis made it obvious the message was sarcastic rather than a serious factual accusation. According to Candace, the alleged text was meant as sarcasm and not something people should interpret literally. She also suggested that if this screenshot was truly the foundation of Erika's reported defamation case, then the case would be extremely weak before it ever reached a courtroom. That response only fueled another wave of arguments online, with both sides battling non-stop over whether sarcasm and implication could still shape public opinion in damaging ways. Then the controversy took yet another dramatic turn. Despite growing pressure online, including rumors that some people close to Candace were becoming uncomfortable with how intense everything had gotten, Candace still showed no signs of backing down from the fight. Candace did not seem interested in deleting videos, softening her tone, or slowing the controversy down at all. Instead, she came back with even more pointed questions surrounding Erika's actions. One of the biggest topics Candace reportedly focused on was why Erika attended the White House Correspondents' Dinner in the first place. And that single question immediately sparked another explosion of speculation online as people began dissecting every detail tied to the controversy. That topic alone sent social media into another heated debate because viewers instantly started asking whether Candace was genuinely searching for answers or intentionally keeping the drama alive for her audience. Suddenly, every interview, public appearance, and statement connected to Erika was getting analyzed online by people searching for hidden motives, deeper meanings, and possible contradictions. Candace continued pushing the idea that major unanswered questions still surrounded the situation, and her supporters praised her for refusing to stay silent under pressure. They argued that public figures should be openly questioned and that controversial discussions should not suddenly become untouchable simply because legal threats entered the conversation. But critics viewed the situation in a completely different way. Many people believed Candace was continuing to fuel public suspicion around Erika in ways that could seriously damage her reputation, especially after months of non-stop online speculation and viral theories. Some viewers even started saying the constant focus on Erika no longer looked like normal commentary and instead appeared more personal and emotionally driven. Meanwhile, Erika's supporters became even louder online, arguing that regardless of how carefully Candace framed her public statements, the repeated theories, implications, and suggestive remarks had already shaped public opinion in a massive way. And as both sides kept pushing back harder, the internet only became more divided and more obsessed with every new development. And because the internet moves at lightning speed, every new podcast episode, viral clip, tweet, or leaked screenshot made the entire situation feel more explosive by the day. At this point, the feud had grown way beyond two people arguing online. It had turned into a massive internet controversy tied to politics, media influence, public perception, and how fast online narratives can spiral completely out of control. As many people already know, Charlie Kirk was never seen as a strong supporter of the press, and he had publicly criticized events like the White House Correspondents' Dinner multiple times over the years. Candace leaned heavily into that point, arguing that Erika's decision to attend the event did not seem consistent with the opinions Charlie had publicly shared for years. But Candace did not stop there. She also began calling out what she viewed as hypocrisy surrounding the public reaction to the event itself. Candace pointed to claims that Erika criticized journalists and attendees for recording during the dangerous situation, while according to online discussions, someone allegedly connected to TPUSA's own circle may have done something similar during the incident involving Charlie. Those claims remain disputed and heavily depend on context, but the comparison still ignited another wave of online arguments. Almost instantly, social media split into opposing sides yet again. Some people believed Candace was exposing contradictions and asking fair questions, while others argued she was simply stretching the controversy further and keeping the drama alive for attention. The comparison quickly became another major talking point across the internet because different audiences interpreted the situation in completely different ways, and with every new debate, the controversy only seemed to grow louder and more chaotic online. Supporters of Candace argued that she was exposing double standards and forcing difficult conversations that other people were too nervous to have publicly. In their view, Erika and individuals connected to TPUSA were criticizing certain behavior in one situation, while allegedly ignoring similar actions happening much closer to their own circle. Critics, however, believed Candace was once again steering the discussion toward personal attacks instead of sticking to verified facts. They argued that every new comparison, theory, and pointed question only added more pressure to an already emotional situation surrounding Charlie's passing and the controversies tied to it. At the same time, online audiences kept digging through old interviews, social media posts, podcast clips, and public statements, searching for anything that could support either side. The internet had basically turned the entire feud into a non-stop public investigation, with thousands of people treating every comment like a clue connected to some much bigger mystery. And the craziest part was that neither side seemed willing to back down at all. Erika appeared fully determined to defend her reputation both publicly and legally, while Candace continued presenting herself as someone refusing to be silenced by criticism, backlash, or possible legal threats. That is exactly why the situation kept escalating, because every response from one side instantly triggered an even louder reaction from the other. The controversy became a cycle of podcasts, screenshots, reactions, live streams, and endless online debates that just kept growing bigger. But Candace still was not finished pushing back. She also focused heavily on Erika's own public statements because, according to Candace, parts of Erika's explanation did not fully make sense. On one side, Erika claimed she was trying to stay above the online chaos, avoid the headlines, and focus on her family and the organization instead of internet drama. But Candace questioned whether Erika's actions matched that message, and that only fueled another wave of arguments across social media. But at the very same time, Erika also said she attended the dinner partly to confront journalists and media figures she claimed she had been trying to ignore, and that became one of Candace's biggest talking points online. Candace kept returning to that detail, questioning whether Erika's public statements were fully consistent or whether parts of the story were being presented in a way that could gain public sympathy. Erika's supporters strongly pushed back against that interpretation, arguing her comments were being taken out of context and that attending a public event does not automatically mean someone is obsessed with online drama or negativity. But by that stage, Candace's public tone made it seem clear that she was not taking the reported lawsuit threats very seriously at all. From Candace's perspective, the situation appeared to be less about protecting a reputation and more about controlling the public narrative during a huge controversy. Still, the claims remain heavily disputed, and audiences continue to stay divided over the entire situation. Some viewers believe Erika is simply defending her name after months of online pressure, while others think Candace is being unfairly attacked for giving commentary and asking controversial questions. One thing is certain, though, this controversy has completely taken over social media, and people are still debating where the line between commentary, speculation, and reputational harm should really be. Let me know what you think about the whole situation in the comments below. Do you think Erika is protecting her reputation, or do you think Candace is being unfairly targeted for her commentary? Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, share this with others following the drama, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next update.